everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a torque station. In a lot of videos when I do comparisons, I typically try to do real life situations such as drilling into wood or cutting different things. I typically don't go into torque specs and testing them, but I think it may be a good time to do that. I see a lot of other people doing it and I'm kind of missing that element within my videos. So the criteria that I really need for a torque station is I need it to be mobile. I don't want it to be something that's going to be stationary all the time. I need it to be strong, and I need to have some variables within the station itself. So with that being said, so I'm going to use 3 different types of bolts within this torque station is because I want to have the variable of different sizes to see if I can get different torques out of the same tool. And I think that's really important because typically when you're using a tool, you're using different bolt sizes and not just one bolt size. So with that being said, I'm going to use 2-inch angle iron, and this is mild stock angle iron. And the reason why I want to use this is because I can actually mount it into a vise or in different locations, and I'm going to drill it. And I have a couple different options for drilling. However, I'm not going to use just a hole saw to get this done. I really reserve this for wood and things like that. Since I'm only going to be going up to an inch hole, I'm going to use a stepper bit. I do have other stepper bits, but I was watching Project Farm a little while back, and they were using the spiral flute design. And this is the Hercules I got from Harbor Freight, and this is actually made of cobalt steel, and it did very well in the video, so shout out to Project Farm. I picked this up because of you. We're going to give it a shot during the video. We'll drill our holes to the right size, and then once we're done, we'll slide the bolts through. I'll actually weld a few sides of the bolt together, so we'll be taking it out to the weld shop, and then we'll give it a quick test. So stick around. Alright, so here's the situation. I just can't get the holes bigger than this. For some reason, it's just not going in. So I don't know what it is, but the steps are equal, and it's just not cutting. I've got some oil here. You know, it started smoking pretty good. I see some discoloration a little bit, but it's just not cutting. So I'm going to try the smaller bit in the pack, and maybe that works. Woo, that's what I'm talking about. This little one cut like butter. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Yeah, I think it's going to work out great. Okay, so I know I don't need this entire length of metal, so I do want to cut it right here. So I'm going to make it even, and the cuts will make everything centered. It'll be even. But in order to cut this, typically I would use a fiber blade, something that I would use with a grinder, something like that. However, Diablo's came out with a new blade, and this is purely to cut steel. This is a fantastic blade. I've cut it on a few other things.
The next day I'm out in the barn. I have the monster cart hooked up. I actually ran power out to the barn. Got it hooked up to the power strip within the cart itself. I've got the welder ready. This is the Vulcan 220 multi-process welder I got at Harbor Freight. Been using it for a couple years. I got it as soon as it came out. I've never had a single issue. It's awesome. Alright, let's take a closer look. This is just typical MIG welding. This is probably your best case scenario, just clean steel and clean steel. And I had this on 12 gauge setting with 030 MIG wire, so that's shielding gas. But all I did is I just tacked here and here and here, tacked here and here. This is kind of gobby, I know. It's not very uniform, but whatever. So I mean, that's it. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Just a few welds here on 3 sides. I couldn't get to the back, but you know what? This is going to hold just fine. Alright, let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch impact on setting 3. This is the Ryobi P261, so it is a brushed motor. It's not one of the new ones. But let's go ahead and give this a first test. Try this one. Alright, that was about 70 foot-pounds. Alright everybody, so that's it. Here's the final station. You can see it's very mobile and it's a great torquing station. I'm very satisfied with this. I can throw this even in my tool bag, do whatever I want to do with it, and do testing around the farm and things like that. So I hope this helps somebody out there if you're looking to build one of these stations, or you're just curious about, you know, how one way is to build a station. If it is, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks everybody.